Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Profit Plays podcast here on our YouTube channel. Today is December 4th. We are going to discuss our weekend recap and take a look at Monday Night Football game. But before we do that, if you guys could, we really appreciate you'd like and subscribe to the channel below. We've had a ton of support over the last week, and we really appreciate all that support. But all right, let's get into our weekend plays. We're going to start with the Dog of the Week recap. I don't think any of us hit, but I think Trey was the closest, so I'll let Trey go first.
Yes, thankfully I was the closest. I had Broncos plus 9.5. I had hopes that they would pull off the win. They had a game-winning field goal attempt, and Brandon McManus was short about 5 yards. But it was, I think, like a 58-yard field goal or something like that. But they were in position to win. Lamar Jackson got injured really early in the game, and that kind of helped our chances. But at the end of the day, Russell Wilson did what Russell Wilson does and couldn't even score a single touchdown all game long.
Hey Trey, do me a favor, pull this comment up. I think this is about the USC game. I'm assuming.
Maybe.
James
I'd assume that or the Cowboys. Who knows?
The kid who does the what happened videos, he got me on USC. Then that night, he didn't even let me sleep. He got it out that night. So that's probably what that comment's about. But Caleb Williams got hurt. It's a fraud game anyway. So, Teats, what about your dog of the week?
Dude, it was bad. I was hoping Drake May would do something, and Drake May got beat by a freshman quarterback. It was a 39-10 trouncing. Like I said, DJ, however you want to say his last name, I apologize, I can't pronounce it. Garbage. Hot garbage, so bad they pulled him pretty early, and they brought in the freshman who went 20-24 for 100-some yards, and they absolutely just decimated North Carolina. So it was kind of a long shot. I had a weird feeling about it, but I figured if there's any team to lose a game, it was going to be Clemson.
Someone ban this kid. Get him out of the chat, bro.
Well, we'll see if the Colts can pull it off. I mean, I said that Saturday does have the boys buzzing, so the money line play was interesting, especially for how big the payout was. And so far, the Colts are playing their asses off.
No, 8-point lead by Dallas, and we've been outplayed. So I think Dallas is still going to win by 20. But my dog of the weekend was LSU. They were driving the ball, first drive. They kicked a field goal. Apparently, everybody on LSU thought the play was dead. Georgia took it back for a touchdown. It was over from that point on. I went bowling.
Yeah.
I went bowling. I didn't even watch the game. Tried to do a change of scenery. It didn't work. But LSU got dominated by Georgia, and that's okay. But we're going to move on. Let's take a look at our weekend bet slips. Let's see who's up first.
I'll put Teats up first.
All right. I kind of want to start with the K-State TCU game because we hit on it so damn hard last video. Dude, overtime game, needed a touchdown. I didn't want TCU to technically win, although I would have been – I mean, they're going to be representing Big 12 anyway, so I was okay with K-State winning, but TCU got stopped on a goal line attempt to take the lead, win the game in overtime, and it would have, I believe, hit the over 62. Instead, we settled for a K-State field goal, got me 59 points. That's a big L right there. Oh. LSU, like Bear said, I mean, there was no point watching that game. Plus 17.5 could have been plus 27.5, probably still would not have covered. But 2-0 for the NFL. Eagles, minus 4.5. That's 2 weeks in a row that I've been riding them since week 1, but 2 in a row that they've covered. So Eagles are turning it around.
Yeah, I've given you crap about Eagles, but I'm going to say right now the Eagles against the Titans today dominated them, and I thought Titans physically would dominate them. So shout out Eagles for being a good team again. But Cam said, I took a parlay, Utah, Georgia, Colts money line, so bless.
Well, sorry, Cam. You're going to go 2-1 on that one. Miss it by just a bit.
All right, Trey, how about you?
I went 1-1. I always go 1-1 on NCAA and 1-1 on NFL. It's just the way it works. The law of averages. I don't like it, but it's just the way that it's been working out for me. Hopefully, I'll be able to get over the hump here soon. The K-State money line play, we all were on that. We all really liked that one. I liked the Purdue game. They were fighting really hard the first half, but then Michigan's talent kind of took over, and they barely did not cover the big point spread. And then if you look at the NFL play, the Broncos plus 9.5, they were my dog of the weekend. They almost won straight up, so that was a good game. They were winning literally the entire game until like a minute left in the game. So I think I was on the right side on that one, just barely lost. And then if you look at the last one, Dolphins versus 49ers, the under didn't even get close to hitting, and the 49ers were on their third-string quarterback. I absolutely hammered the Miami Dolphins minus 130 when they were up 10-7, and Jimmy G was out, and I was like, wow, they're up 10-7, 10-7, 3-point lead. Jimmy G's out, Brock Purdy's in. This is gonna be easy money, and it did not even get close to hitting. So that's just the way the cookie crumbled for me today. But 2-2 weekend, so I'll take it.
Purdy looked very good in replacement for Jimmy G. So,
which that just goes to
on.
show, what is Lance's problem? Jimmy G looked amazing.
I don't know.
Purdy looked amazing, and Lance has not looked good whatsoever.
He might be the problem.
He'll figure it out. It's okay.
All right, I went 3-3 on the weekend. I didn't tell you guys my plan, but I wanted it to look very Christmas-like because last week it was so much green. I needed to get some red in there, so I tried to make it more festive this week. But 3-3 on the weekend, not bad, not good. But as a group, we went 8-0-1 on the site, BearsProfitPlays.com. I went 5-0-1 on member plays, 3-0 on free plays this week. That's 3 straight winning weeks on the site, so we are red hot over there. If you guys want to check it out, the link is in the description below, so check that out on BearsProfitPlays.com. All right, let's move on to the podcast parlay of the week. We were so close on this, inches away from catching this bet, and TCU, K-State moneyline got it, and Broncos plus 9.5. And we lost by inches with TCU not scoring that touchdown at the end there. But even if they would have scored, K-State might not have won, so it might not have hit anyway. But Teats, do you have any thoughts on that game or no?
No comment.
No comment?
It hurts too much to know that I did this to us. So I'm just looking to bounce back next week.
All right.
So, as a K-State fan, it has me worried that we are playing against Alabama in a bowl game. I'm hoping that we win. That would be awesome for the program, but I think that we're going to be at least double-digit underdogs.
That should be a good game. But all right, let's talk some Monday Night Football. We have New Orleans Saints versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers are minus 3.5. Over/under is 40.5. Trey, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this game. This might be the most heated rivalry in the NFL. We saw what happened the first time these two teams played this season. Mike Evans and Marcus Lattimore absolutely got into it, just like nothing ever happened, because they do that every single season, it seems. But I think I'm going to surprise some people on this. I'm going to go the New Orleans Saints plus 3.5. The Bucs are 1-7-1 ATS in their last 9 games overall. The Bucs are 1-5-1 ATS in their last 7 home games. And the Saints are 4-0 ATS in their last 4 games in Tampa Bay. And the Saints are 7-2 ATS in their last 9 games overall against Tampa Bay. So the Saints do have the Buccaneers number. I don't like that they're going on the road to Tampa Bay, but I'm hoping Andy Dalton does not screw this game away and just keep it close, because the Saints defense is going to be buzzing.
I'm glad you said that about Andy Dalton, because we as a population don't deserve to end the great week of football we've had watching Andy Dalton try and time. I'm not trying to badmouth Andy Dalton either, but the Saints have 2 quarterbacks that are electric that people want to watch. Just throw in Jameis Winston right now, but I'm not going to give a pick yet because I want to hear what Teats has to say just before I give my pick. Teats.
This is a disgusting division to even talk about. I cannot believe that they're going to allow this to be the Monday Night Football game, other than who's under center for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to go with the idea that this is going to kind of come down to who's going to take the division. Whoever wins the division makes the playoffs. No one else is going to make it from that division. They're all trash. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers money line. It's not the prettiest play, but I don't want to give them the minus 3.5, but I think that the Buccaneers win it outright. Tom Brady seems to be rolling right now. The Buccaneers offense as a whole, especially with Rachaad White, has been rolling right now. And the Saints are so inconsistent with Andy Dalton under center. I don't know if they're going to go off like they have for 40, or is he going to throw 6 interceptions? So I like Tampa Bay in this matchup, especially at home.
Yeah, and I'm also going to take Tampa Bay, but I'm going to take them minus 3.5. I think the Saints defense is good, but the offense of the Saints, they're not going to be able to score many points against this Bucs defense. So I'm going to take Buccaneers minus 3.5 on Monday night. So let's move on to player props for Monday Night Football. Over to PrizePicks. Teats, I'm going to have you start Saints and Tampa Bay game.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to start with Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore over 1 ejection. I'm kidding. I do have a cool little parlay, though. I've got a soft hands parlay is what I'm going to call it. It's all receivers. We're going to start with receiving yards. I'm looking at Chris Godwin over 66.5 receiving yards. Over the past 2 games, he's gotten it. He's been kind of the late horse of the receiving for Tom Brady. he always has been pretty electric for him as long as he's healthy. Mike Evans is going to be just completely locked down most of this game. Marshawn Lattimore is going to be in his head. I think that Chris Godwin gets the nod, and this one is the wide receiver 1 for that team. From there, I'm going to go to the Saints receivers, not Jarvis Landry. I'm going to Chris Olave over 16.5 yards. The dude's a dog. As a rookie with who knows who's throwing him the ball, he is the guy for them to throw to. And he's gotten it 3 over the last 5. I think that if Andy Dalton is able to remember his prime time with the Bengals and come out in some of that peak fashion when he threw to AJ Green, I think he'll hit Chris Olave just the same. I think 102 yards is not out of reach for him in this game. I think that it might be closer to about 70 though. And then let's go over to anytime receiving rushing touchdowns. I'm looking at, and it's a weird one, but I really like it. I'm looking at Chris Godwin and Julio Jones anytime touchdown for rushing and receiving. Julio's a dude that if he gets on the field, he is just a huge target. And if you have him anywhere near the end zone, he'll catch it. Chris Godwin, I think that if he's going to get a touchdown, it might be one that where he'll have to break one for him. But I think that these two, one of them should end up with a touchdown by the end of the day.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like your Chris Godwin pick because we know Evans usually lines out on the outside, and we know Brady loves slot receivers. So I think that's why Chris Godwin's been having a lot of targets lately, because Brady just loves the slot, and he's always open. So I'm going to go ahead and do mine picks next. I have 3 of them. I'm going to start with Alvin Kamara, over 29.5 receiving yards. Like I said earlier, Tampa has a great defensive front, so the run game won't be there for the Saints. Kamara's past 5 games. He's hit 4 of the 5 games, and Andy will be checking down him all night long. On top of that, for my second prop, I'm going to take his over catches, Alvin Kamara's catches. Like I said, Andy's going to be checking it down to him, so I'm going to take his over catches for this game as well. And my last one is going to be an under, which I never take unders, but I'm taking one tonight or tomorrow night for the Monday Night Football game. It's going to be Tom Brady under 265.5 passing yards. The Saints ranked 7th in the NFL in passing defense and 22nd in rushing defense. Tampa all year has wanted to run the ball, and they have found a rhythm the last couple games. So I like Tampa to be run heavy in this game and rely on Brady late in the game to get it done, but I think his under hits in this game. Trey?
And I just want to preface this by saying we don't tell each other what our player props are before pre-show, but so happens that you guys picked both of mine, and that just makes me feel even more confident about it. The first one is going to be Alvin Kamara over 29.5 receiving yards. Like Jesse said, he's hit this number 4 out of the last 5 games, and in his career against the Bucs, he's averaged almost 50 receiving yards per game. So he loves to get out of the backfield and kind of catch those bubble screens and do some yards after catch for the Saints. So I think that they're going to use Alvin Kamara a lot tomorrow. So I think 30 receiving yards is pretty low, and I think that we should hammer that. And then my last one is going to be another one that they said, Chris Godwin, over 66.5 receiving yards. This number is too low. Marcus Lattimore is going to be all over Mike Evans, and they're going to be going at it all game long. And I think that Tom Brady's just going to be looking at Chris Godwin a lot tomorrow, especially since Jesse said he's in the slot. Brady loves to get the ball out quick in the slot. And in his career against the New Orleans Saints, Chris Godwin averages 4.5 catches a game and just under 66 receiving yards. So this number is right on his average. And I think that the Chris Godwin today is a lot better than the Chris Godwin his rookie year 4 years ago, 5 years ago. So I think that this number should hit pretty easily. And those are my 2 player props.
You know what? I'm gonna take a fourth and just squad ride Chris Godwin here on his over. I think we all 3 should take him because I think he's going to be the main receiver tomorrow night. So I'll take his over as well. So 4 player props for me. But
I was looking at this Tom Brady minus 0.5 rushing yards. He only hits the negative if they win, and I'm picking the Saints to win. I don't think he's going to have to be kneeling out any balls. So I think that if you think the Saints will win tomorrow, this player prop is a good one to cash.
Take his over?
Take his over.
Because he won't be
take his over. Yeah.
I'll say the scary thing though is that offensive line sometimes looks pretty bad, and a sack and a knee that gets you negative 7 yards right there.
Oh no! In the NFL, sacks don't count as negative yards.
I only
I always forget that.
Yeah. So they only get negative yards if they're taking knees or he's running some read option, and Tom Brady's not running a read option.
Well, we never know. He could get quarterback sneak though. He's one of the best in the league.
I think I'm going to add
That's true.
him over rushing yards now, knowing that if sacks don't count, that's a lock.
It's a lock.
All right. That'll do it for our show tonight. If you guys enjoy the content, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all the love and support from you guys. So thank you for being part of our community. We will see you guys next video, and thanks for watching.